over the years, I've realized that in this conversation and in most divisive conversations, how you go about talking to people on different sides is almost as important as the content in which each person is arguing for. And I read Jonathan Haidt's book, probably the Righteous Mind. I think it came out in 2013. I probably read it in maybe 2018 when I was in the middle of like, in different, I'm in different spaces where people have different views on sexuality, and I'll be in one space and I'll say, here's what I think the Bible says. And everybody's like, oh, it makes total sense, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be in another space, say the exact same thing. And they're like, you're a heretic, you're a homophobe, or you're a woke or whatever. I'm like, wait, I'm just saying the same thing. These people are, everybody's has a brain. They're reasonable. How come my cognitive articulation lands in this space, but not in this space, how come I can say, I think we should love LGBT people and care for all people made in God's image. And in one space, people are like, that sounds like Jesus to me. In another space, it's like, no, that's not, you're sacrificing truth on the altar of love or something. So when I read Haidt's book in the midst of like figuring out like, why are people responding so differently? His work was so helpful that that elephant and rider image of like 90% of why people believe what they believe, including me, including you, is not really because we work through our rational reasoning of all the argument. 90% of why we believe what we believe comes from a gut reaction, our intuition, our emotions, our stories, our context, our experiences, and so much of that feeds into why people believe what they believe. So all that to say, the book you guys are reading, what does the Bible say about same-sex marriage? Or does the Bible support same-sex marriage? It is primarily analyzing the intellectual theological arguments. And I think that's important. And I think we need to do that. I learned over the years that we can't even do that well unless we first understand how to have a fruitful conversation with people, taking into account all these other things.